it was my very first patrol, and the team I ended up in, my team leader's name was Bob Scheidel. He was a corporal, and he had been there for close to 18 months. He had been there, done a tour, and then signed up for extended another 6-month tour. And he had run a lot. He had run like 48 patrols or something like that, which is really a lot. And he had a different attitude than a lot of the other team leaders. So he took us in because he got me as a new guy, and then another guy came a couple of days later. And he treated us like equals right off the bat. It wasn't that, you're new. It was just, you're part of the team now, so that's it. There were people who had that attitude that, oh, you're new, so, we just dump on you. And so we did some more training before I got to go out. And then finally, we had enough guys for a full team. We got our marching orders to go out. And so the night before, because we were going to the Ashaw Valley, which a lot of people have to know that name because a lot of things happen there, and he was one of them said, well, you guys are going to get your cherry busted on this because it's a bad place. Okay, we're Marines. So we went out. I can give you the funny part first. When we got inserted, we would use Army Huey helicopter slick. So you'd have half the team on one, half the team on another one. So the senior guys got to sit in the doors with their legs hanging out, but this other guy, we had to sit in the middle because we were new. So anyway, we get to where we're landing, but the helicopters couldn't set down because the elephant grass was probably like 10 feet high. So it kind of matted it down with the wash. So the first guys in the doors, they jumped off. Well, I didn't know about having ammunition. That helicopter, that lost a lot of weight. So it went up. And I jumped off and I was like, whoa. So I land, and so, the helicopters leave, the grass goes back up, and they go, come on, I said, I can't get up. And they're like, because they didn't know, and I had a broken ankle, and they're like, is it your ankle? No, it's the weight. I can't get up. Because we carried enough food and water and ammunition and everything to last you a week, so I had all this crap on my back. So they all thought it was fun. Anyway, on the first patrol, my initial thing, my first night was we would have 2 men on watch, and it was my first time on watch, and you're in the jungle, it's totally pitch black, except for this little rotting stuff on the floor that kind of glows like a firefly kind of thing. You see all these little white spots. So I'm sitting there listening. And all of a sudden, we had with us a Kit Carson scout who was a Vietnamese, basically soldier who worked with us. And all of a sudden, I feel his hand on my shoulder. It was like having a Costello. And it was to you. Oh, I just want to make sure you're awake. Don't worry, I'm awake. So, anyway, but then we went on with the patrol, and we were right on the Laotian border, and we came across this bunker complex, and we were trying to get a fire mission artillery to blow it up. And Bob was good about that. He, especially for whatever reason, we kind of bonded right off the bat more than we did with the other guy. He kept bringing me up to date on what was going on, because we set up like in a 360. We were spread out in a little bit in the jungle area, about the size of this room. And we were trying to get this fire mission, but they kept putting it off and putting it off. So we were sitting there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And they knew we were there. And the first guy that got taken out was Bob. So that was kind of dramatic. because everybody started, opened up. We didn't even know what the hell we were shooting at. We just knew that it came from there.
Were there other casualties in your unit?
No, he was the only one, but so I went to him and made the rookie mistake of just bending over. Somebody else who was senior was like, no, get him out of there, which is obvious because obviously somebody just shot him. They knew where he was. So I dragged him, but he was, unfortunately, he was dead already. So we had to get out of there. And this mountain that we had gone down the side of, which probably the night before we had been down there, went back up, probably took us like 45 minutes to get back to the top. We did it probably, seems like we did it in about 5 minutes, but we ended up just dumping all our gear except for our rifles and that. And I carried him back up, dragged, whatever, to get back up so we could get helicopters to get out. And get that adrenaline going. Got up there because the other guys who had gotten one of the other team members, this guy Fred Oaks, mom, he stayed with me as my security because I was carrying him. The other guys went to try and secure a place so we could get out of there. And so they finally got in and got us out. And we all piled into one helicopter this time, but, we landed back at Vandergrift Combat Base, which was, they had fire bases, some larger than others. It had kind of replaced Quezon. And, they just came. We got off the helicopter. 2 corpsmen came with a body bag and a stretcher. They just pulled them off the helicopter, put them in a body bag, and took a 155 casing full of water, just douched it through the helicopter to wash the blood away. That was it. And, we went down to the assistant team leader, one of the other guys, they went to get debriefed, and the rest of us went down to this LZ to get a helicopter back to our compound. It was we were crying. And, because Recon Marine is like the pinnacle of success in the Marine Corps. We're all camouflaged up in that. And all these other guys, other Marines, they just, I hate to get emotional. They just came, they came and they gave us their condolences. We were just a bunch of kids.